Cut. Check 50, check 50.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. A look at the numbers from Penny last week. 13 carries, 57 yards, and a touchdown as well.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners. Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And the Rams got him. They bring him down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that. Give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. They go back to the ground now with Penny. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Well, look now at our starting defense. They enter play 1 from the bottom, number 31 in the league, Charles, against the run.
One thing players always tell us is that they never really pay attention to numbers. I don't believe them for a second. They know where they rank, okay? They're not quite at the top, but they're far from the bottom. But let's face it, they want to move up. In order to do that, they've got to look at each other and make sure everyone's taking care of their assignments in order to play the run better.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Wilson. He'll get this one to Patrick. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams 18. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Watch the twist. Hey, easy. Touch the twist.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. David Long, the rookie from West Virginia, there defensively.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. A good pickup, 17 yards, and also a Rams first down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Second down, defense, let's go.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Second quarter now from Los Angeles. It is the Rams in possession as they've got it with a first and 10.
Let's go, defense.
4 yards on the dump off at second down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Henderson will try and run for the first. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop him short of a first down.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, first down Seahawks.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically, but a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. On first and 10, it's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
59 mark. Check. 59. Alert. Check.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trent Murphy able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Second down, it's Henderson. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Now, sometimes those punt returns can yield some unnecessary roughness penalty.
Now, I know a lot of guys, when they run a long way to execute a block or make a hit, they're going to launch it no matter what, and it can often cost them.
On the carry, it's Hill. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
57, come on. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Touch 50. Watch twist. 57's the mic. Watch 57. 22, check, cover. 22, check, cover.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Rams have got it back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Rosen will throw. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. Here's Johnny Hacker now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime.
With the score, Seahawks 10.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult in that. That's caught at the 25. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 45 yards. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson, this complete to Lockett. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Rosen. And his throw here's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
I remember watching Derrick Henry come out of Alabama and sitting with some scouts, and one of the debate points with him was, while at Bama, how often did he have to deal with contact near the line of scrimmage? They were so good up front that he often got to the second level pretty easily. I think he's starting to answer those questions with runs like that. He's a physical guy.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On 2nd and 2, Rosen. Open man is Amara Darboh, complete. 7 yards there and a 1st down. They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Darrell Henderson, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Rams are able to cut into this lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Through an opening, and there he goes.
Come on, fellas.
One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson scoring on the 2-yard keeper. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Well, Charles, he's already proven that he's not afraid to tuck that football down on the option, and he's into the end zone for the 2nd time in the game.
And that's exactly what you need from your quarterback, the ability to run the ball fearlessly. And, in fact, many quarterbacks will tell you running the football doesn't scare them. Standing in the pocket and taking blindside hits, that's what terrifies them.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Not today, you want. Not today. Check 52.
A carry by Henderson to start the drive. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 29, Rosen. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Rams on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Rosen to throw. That's taken in by Henderson. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down LA.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And now it's Rosen looking. That's complete to Darboh. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 41-yard line. Rosen in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now it's Rosen. And he'll find Henderson there. It's complete. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
That'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another 1st down on the pickup of 5 yards. Rosen in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's hit on his last 7 straight passes. Gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Again, it's Rosen. Toward the pylon, caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Rams are able to draw a bit closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Again, it's Penny. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So Josh Rosen in the offense. Down 24-14. 1:38 to go. Now their losing streak in danger of continuing as they come up on first down.
Check. Watch it before. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Check three.
They'll run with Henderson here to begin the drive. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Rosen saying, let's go, guys, faster. Clock is running here. On 2nd and a couple. Rosen. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. To throw is Rosen. And just in general, pressure comes and down goes Rosen. Clock continuing to roll as the Rams try to get going again. Now it's Rosen. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here's Rosen. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Dylan Cole, and he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. So the victory here for Seattle, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for the Seahawks, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for LA, not much more to say. They dropped to 1-11, and they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
That's 20 goons and ice cream whip, triple school.